Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Jonesing for Wins. My name is Craig Havens. I'll be your host today, along with Jonathan Almanzar. Today we have a special guest. We have joining us Mitch Overson, who is our Minnesota Vikings fan. Mitch, I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about the game coming up. We're gonna kind of go through some scores and everything, and we'll see how this plays out. Um, Mitch, tell us a little bit about yourself. How'd you become a Minnesota Vikings fan?
So I am from Des Moines, Iowa originally, and all my uncles were really into football. I had two uncles that were Green Bay fans, another uncle that was a Chiefs fan, and my dad was a Vikings fan. And when you're young, kind of want to follow in your dad's footsteps. So I was like, all right, I'm going to be a Vikings fan. Looking back, I don't know sometimes if that was the best choice, but I'm going to stick with it. No fair weather fans here. And my favorite color is purple. That has nothing to do with it, so that works out great.
Now, you went to a game as a kid, right? But you went to a Kansas City Chiefs game, right? Am I wrong?
You're correct. That was the 1998. It was so I was 14. Chiefs Jaguars game. It was a surprise from my uncle Greg, and Chiefs won, and that was one of the loudest things you could imagine in there. I mean, your ears kind of hurt in Arrowhead.
How did that not? I mean, that's right at the right age to kind of become a fan, and like it's almost like your uncle tried to sway you, but you decided not to.
Decided not to. Yep, stuck with Minnesota, but that was definitely a really fun experience.
I didn't even know the Jaguars. I didn't even know the Jaguars were a team in 1994.
I think they came out in '93.
98, 98, I think it was.
98. Oh yeah, that's right. You said
Yeah.
98. Yeah.
Well, because
Oh, was it their inauguration? Oh, I guess yeah. My boys were alive when they were.
so I spent a decent amount of time in Missouri, and Jonathan, isn't your wife from Missouri?
Yeah, she is. Yeah. We
So do you
had.
like
I
it
had
there?
this. One time I was working at a pharmaceutical company, and these guys were all getting ready to go up to a Chiefs game, and one of the guys stole one of those portable urinals
Oh,
because he was like, he goes, my grandpa, once he gets seated in his seat, he's not going to get up to go to the bathroom. And I was like, so he's just going to pee in the urinal? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, what about the people in front? Can you imagine if you're at a game and you're jumping up and down yelling and you hear psh behind you or whatever? Oh my gosh.
imagine when he kicks it and knocks it over.
Yeah.
Oh man, that is a good one.
So, favorite Viking of all time?
Leif Erikson.
I used to like, believe it or not, I used to like Dante Culpepper.
Did you? Okay,
Yep.
I could see that. Right up until he got injured.
Yes. And then it definitely was exciting when Brett Favre went there. What can I say? See him in the purple jersey.
But he couldn't have been your favorite because you had to hate him for a long time.
That's true. No, I like Dante Culpepper.
All right. How about currently playing? There's quite a few to choose from here.
Just say, just because he's got good hands and he's really consistent. He's not the fast. I just like Adam Thielen. He usually is extremely consistent. So Justin Jefferson. I mean, that's pretty impressive. I mean, what can we say? I mean, especially that play last week.
Yeah.
That was just absolutely insane.
That was incredible. I can't believe the lineage of Vikings receivers, man, from like Chris Carter to Randy Moss to Diggs and now Jefferson. Like it's been crazy that they get these late round, amazing wide receivers there.
And it's not like it's the same GM picking every time either.
No.
One thing I got to give him a lot of credit for. I mean, as far as like, wide receivers, like they've they've been on fire with that. I can't knock them for that.
So
Yeah.
Mitch and I were on the phone during the end of the game, the Minnesota game.
Yeah.
And it's funny because had that guy, so they scored the touchdown and he needed to kick the extra point to get it within 3. We were talking about this. Had that guy actually made that extra point, that could have changed the whole game around. That was a missed extra point that probably won them the game because they might have moved down the field, kicked the field goal to tie it up, and then with time left on the clock, Buffalo goes down and scores a field goal, game over. But they missed it, so they were forced to go for that touchdown, which left them short.
Right.
End up with a touchdown, and the whole game changes again.
Really been lately, like really getting into stuff, getting all animated. But I mean, we were all screaming at the TV that day. I mean, that I still can't believe that worked out because what we were kind of saying, like you're always a little bit sketchy about your own team. Like, you know what, if they find a way to beat Buffalo, I think they're legit. I mean, the way it really went down, I mean, the stars had to align, but win's a win.
So
yeah,
known you a long time. I know you've been optimistic in the past, but this year you seem a lot more optimistic in the Vikings. What do you think the difference is?
Yeah, the new blood, like I can never pronounce his name. The new GM, really bad at pronouncing names, but Kevin O'Connell, like just the way seemed like last year. I thought the saying with Minnesota, we almost always almost win. I believe what it is. It's like those games were being lost by just little decisions where you're like, oh, what if he made a little bit different decision? He seems like he's just a little bit more aggressive enough. So, all right, these wins this year, they haven't been pretty, and they haven't been by a lot of scores. But it seems like once he's been in the helm, those decisions he's kind of making are making the difference. And everyone just seems, you see the locker room videos, everyone just seems real pumped, real happy to be there. It's just a different dynamic with Mike Zimmer, and no disrespect to him, but
Jonathan wanted you shirtless on this presentation with gold chains on you.
Yeah, I thought you'd show up here without your shirt on and wearing a bunch of chains, man.
And dancing.
With his 8-pack.
I gotta be honest. We have knocked your team. Not knocked. Kind of knocked. I don't think there's been a guest on our show who had thought that the Vikings were for real. I've had them on my power rankings. I've taken them off my power rankings. When I have had them on, I've taken them off. They're like the Cowboys. They do the same thing over and over again. It's just always in, but not.
I think they're more legit after somehow pulling out that last win, but I'm still just like you. It's like, all right, when's the ball gonna drop? You guys know as well as me the kicker woes. It's just like,
yeah,
okay, we got great wide receivers. You know what? I would rather have just mediocre and have a really awesome kicker.
You might be the only person I've ever heard say something like that. But yeah, I hear you, man. I just can't picture Kirk Cousins. Like I just can't picture him being a Super Bowl MVP. Quarterback. I just can't picture it.
But could you have pictured Kurt Warner as a Super Bowl MVP? I mean,
yes.
You can now you can because you've seen it. But could you?
I could then too because he just looked different than Kirk Cousins looks.
So if you went grocery shopping and he was bagging your groceries, you would have been like, that dude right there, dude, you should be a Super Bowl. You should be a quarterback. You should be part of the greatest show on turf.
If I saw him throw a football, but Kirk Cousins, like I wouldn't picture Kirk Cousins bagging groceries, but I could totally picture like going in to buy a used car and him trying to sell me a warranty. Like I can see that for sure.
See him being like a librarian or something.
Yeah, just being like, oh, you really should get this extended warranty. It'll do really good, and have like some big chain on his wrist
or around his neck.
Yeah, Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's like it seems like he's like a stats and numbers guy. Like you look at his numbers, you're like, oh wow, but he's not. I just don't think he's not gonna take the team on his shoulders and win it. I don't
Yeah.
think that's ever gonna happen. Like
I-
meaning he like kind of does the magic.
There's
I
been quarterbacks that have done it, though. Trent Dilfer.
I really wish when he put all
Totally got
his
ignored.
necklaces on, when he put all his necklaces on, that he had just been covered in tattoos. I think that would have been amazing if Kirk Cousins had like a big chest tattoo, like "struggles made me" and all that kind of junk. I think it would have been pretty epic.
A lot cooler. Like, oh man, this guy's really he's really a badass.
Yeah.
You know what's going to be cool is this week when the game's over, if they show him and he's got struggles made me, and it'll be our
Yeah.
logo will be tattooed right underneath it.
Right. Or if he yells, "You like that?" If he had that
Yes.
tattooed like on
Yes.
his belly, "You like that?"
Great. If there's anything he should get a tattoo, that would be funny. You like that?
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because he was. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but wasn't he like? He was like the first quarterback with like that really mega million big
Yeah.
contract.
He had the big contract.
Yep.
Which we were like, what? Like, I was
many
shocked that they
people,
did it.
many people were scratching their heads, but yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe it'll work out this year. What are you expecting out of this game this week? What are your thoughts on the game? You see, what are you expecting? I don't need a score yet. We'll get to the score in just a bit, but just tell me what you think about the game. Gut thoughts.
I think everyone's expecting Justin Jefferson to be a big playmaker. I think he's your star corner is Trayvon Diggs, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I know that the past couple years, he got shut down big time. I mean, I'm expecting it to be extremely close, like this last game. I don't know. I'm not considering. I think the last 2-3 years we've lost by like a couple points. I think it's going to be the same type of thing. Like I said, I think Jefferson's going to get shut down. You got Zeke's out, right? So you got Tony Pollard? Is that who your big running back is?
Yeah.
I don't know if Zeke is playing or not this week.
But Pollard is the running back right now.
Yep.
Technical difficulty?
What's that? I think. Can you hear me, Jonathan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think he's having some internet issues. So what are you expecting, Jonathan, while we're waiting on him to come back?
I think.
You back?
Are you back, Mitch?
Yeah, you guys froze.
Oh, that's weird. We were both fine. Go ahead.
Okay, so Pollard just got 3 touchdowns. He's your big running back now?
Yep.
Correct.
Okay, so I think he's, him and Cook are about equivalent. Yeah, I think we're coming off. It seems like, okay, we're coming off that crazy win. You guys are coming off a loss that really, I mean, it shouldn't happen. So I think, okay, who's hungrier? I think Dallas is. Yeah, I think it's going to come down to the last minute, per usual.
And Jonathan, you don't think so, huh?
No, I mean, I think that the Vikings have been doing that, but I think this is a game where almost what Mitch said of, I think the Cowboys are going to be a lot hungrier for this game than the Vikings are. The Vikings don't need it as much. The Cowboys desperately need this win.
Yeah.
And I think that's gonna be a big difference.
Do you think maybe the Cowboys overlooked the Green Bay Packers looking ahead to this game?
No,
I don't.
No, I think that, but what I do think is, I think the coaches were very fired up for the game. 10 of them were from Green Bay. I don't think the players were as fired up as the coaches. That's kind of what I think about that game.
I don't think the coaches were fired up about the game. I think they were just excited to get back. And
yeah, maybe. Yeah, because Green Bay is a pretty cool place, I'm sure.
You want to
Actually,
see a game there? You've seen a game
I've
there,
been
right,
there.
Craig?
Yep, I've been there. It is
Is it
actually a
electric?
cool place. I mean, it's a neat place, and the worst insult I got was, "Oh, a Cowboys fan." So totally different than going to a game in Philly because I'm always
Right.
welcome in Philly. But
They're very forgiving folk over there in Philly. You got
so let's talk some scores. Mitch, I want to hear what you think the final score of this weekend's game is going to be.
I think it's going to be 31-34. Cowboys win by 3. And I mean, and I even just specific, I think it's just because you guys are Cowboys fans, I'm the Vikings fan. I happen to remember the scores of the past couple of years, and it's been like 3 or 4 points loss each time. And it's pretty much the same players. So I'm like, I mean, maybe with the coaching staff change, maybe that'll change a little bit, but I don't know. I think it's going to be the same outcome. You guys come play us at home, and
Well, this one's in Minnesota. We were supposed to be at this game. Well, we talked about it. We've talked about it for years. We've known each other for years. We've talked about going to the next time that they're out in Minnesota, and we didn't go.
yeah, that's got to stop. I got it. I heard it's crazy. I don't even know that much about that stadium, but I heard it's shaped like the Viking ship or something like that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what my new neighbors across the street. I guess they have their son-in-law or something is season ticket holder.
Huh.
So they know they go to games out there a lot. Husband's a big Green Bay fan, and he's from Wisconsin, and she's a huge New York Giants fan. So interesting dynamic. Oh, well,
I guess
It
that's
is.
the front of the ship.
that's cool. But I gotta tell you, the one thing that really bugs me about that stadium, no longer a cold weather team.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Not liking
Yeah.
that. I mean, that's something you could always you go to a place where ridiculous amount of snow, and now you're.
Yeah. Same with Dallas. It's no longer a cold weather team. So, Jonathan, you got a score for us? Are you going to change it from yesterday or the day before?
Yeah.
I guess we had some technical
I am.
issues
I'm
yesterday.
gonna say 31-17 Cowboys.
You are changing it. 31-17. You've lowered their score and our score.
Yeah, I'm not as confident as I was.
Huh.
But why not?
I feel like our offense is still missing a little bit, like a engine that's misfiring. I think our defense is going to do much better because I think Micah Parsons is going to light them up a little bit during practice, and I think there's going to be a lot of anger coming out onto the field. So I think the defense is going to do really well, but I feel like our offense is not, and I think it's going to take a couple, at least one of our scores will come from the defense.
CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott seem to be on different pages, like different books.
Yeah,
It's weird.
Is you guys a star? You think he's the best wide receiver on your team?
No, on our team,
yeah.
on our team, yeah.
But we need
But
somebody
not.
to take over the one spot.
I don't think he's a top 10 in the league.
I don't either.
Yeah.
He could be. He's got potential. There's something missing. So I've got it as 31-29. I'm keeping my score. Until we can stop the rush. We were, the first 5 games we allowed 1 touchdown per game. That was right up till we met Philly, I guess. But I don't know what's going on, but defense is falling apart. I don't know that Micah Parsons was there last week and he was kind of silenced. So we'll see.
It's like just shocked that I think we might have mentioned this last night. The NFC East, like how competitive it is, and I can't believe that the Seahawks are leaving their division with, Geno Smith. And yeah, it's like
No kidding.
maybe, hey, I mean, now we see it. Russell Wilson goes to another team. The whole team looks terrible, and Geno Smith looks good. Craig was saying maybe it's about that system there. Russell Wilson, maybe all this time it was just that system. But man, he's got to be the biggest bust this year.
There's something going on. Yeah, it's got to be. I swear there's bad water going around the league. So the other thing we like to do is we like to do our power rankings. We do our top 3 teams. So, Jonathan, you remember yours, or do you need me to do them for you?
I think they were the Chiefs,
Yep.
the Cowboys.
Yep.
I don't remember the other one.
The
Buffalo.
one you thought I was crazy for picking last week.
Miami.
This week you picked them because
Miami.
they beat the Browns.
Miami.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Miami.
So my top 3, I keep Miami in the number 1 spot. I still think that they're probably the toughest team to beat right now. Kansas City is my number 2 team, and I've got the Vikings back in the power rankings after beating Buffalo. So Mitch,
Okay.
it is on you now.
It is on me. All right. Yeah, I got Chiefs. I don't know. Can't count them out. Chiefs number 1. Eagles number 2. I know.
Should have muted it.
And the Bills. I wouldn't count out. them. I think they're gonna come back hard. I don't know. Like, I think people might think I'm nuts having the Eagles there, and I understand their schedule is pretty
Yeah, they're
easy.
number 1 on a lot of power rankings. I just don't believe in them.
I don't want to believe in them if that helps, but I'm like, I feel not mentioning them just
No,
wouldn't count.
they're winning games. I watched them struggle against Texas. So I watched them, against the Texans, and then last week to lose to Washington. Those are games I think they had to win. But
yeah, I mean, I do agree with you. Like the Texans only won 1 game, and they were struggling against them. It just seems like they're fine. Yeah, they're finding ways to win.
yeah, I mean, I can say the same thing about the Cowboys, but I don't have the Cowboys on my power rankings either. Same reason. I mean, they needed to win this last game. So we also do out of power rankings, which I think I explained to you already. It's basically teams that had power going into things. They've started to lose power. For me, I can tell you mine right now was the Philadelphia Eagles for the exact reasons I said. I think they started losing games that they need to win. I think they should have dominated in Houston, against Houston. I don't even remember that game was played. I think it was in Houston. They should have dominated. They didn't. I think that this game against Washington they needed. And needed is wrong. They're going to make the playoffs, no doubt about it. But to stay where they are and to still be dominant, if they're going to be as dominant as they think they are, I think they needed to win that game. They didn't. So they're my losing power team. Jonathan, you got yours? I don't remember who yours was yesterday or Monday.
I'll just go with the Tennessee Titans. I think they suck. I think they're going down.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
Just in Tennessee last week.
Yeah.
Yep. Near Gatlinburg, man. There's so much to do in that area.
Dollywood?
Yeah.
Smoky Mountains?
Went to Dollywood. Unfortunately, it rained the entire trip. Like I said, I don't.
Isn't there some?
What's that?
Isn't there like Pigeon Forge or something around there too?
Yep.
Where we stayed, Pigeon Forge. Looking at it from defending Super Bowl champs, the Rams. I mean, I would think you're going in like to the season like, hey, we're the defending champs, pretty much the same staff, and they look god awful.
They're terrible.
They're terrible. They're what, 3-6 or something, and they just their best player is now out the rest of the season.
Their only player, I think he accounts for what, 35% of their offensive plays.
Yeah, at least. At least.
More. Yeah,
Yeah.
they put way too much on that guy's shoulders or his ankle now.
Nice.
His
Yeah.
cankle.
So,
Just local pride here. You know, you try to kind of follow your local team, the Panthers. You know, just being so close to the stadium, and you know their best players now in San Francisco.
Yeah.
You know, they look terrible as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
They still have a chance for the playoffs though, which is crazy. They could beat Tampa, and Atlanta sucks. The Saints suck. Like they have a chance.
I know that's the funniest part. That division. Oh, 5-5 is leading the division.
Yeah. Yeah. Terrible.
which is crazy because our other divisions, I mean, the two East divisions, there's not a team under 500.
Yeah.
But all right.
So, NFC East, you know, besides no bias, in all seriousness, like, do you feel that the Cowboys are the best team right now?
I feel like
Go ahead, Jonathan.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I stated before, I still think the Cowboys take the number one spot in the NFC East. Looking at schedules, I didn't expect either team to lose this week, but they both did. So, but I can see where a very plausible and possibly probable scenario where Cowboys end up on top of the division, especially with the loss being division loss. Go ahead, Jonathan.
I think that they will not win the division, but I think by the end of the year they'll be the best team in our division. I don't know if they are right now, but by the end of the year I think they will be. That's
He's a big Giants fan right now.
Nope, not at all. I actually think Washington's better than the Giants.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, they're now correct me if I'm wrong. They have Carson Wentz was supposed to. He got hurt again, right? So now it's Tyler Heineke. I actually picked up Heineke in fantasy because I'm like, you know what? I had Dalton. I'm like, he's actually been putting up. I mean, I don't know if he's gonna start going down, but he's balling.
I feel like if you combined Heineke and Kirk Cousins, that would be a good quarterback. You take Heineke's like moxie,
that would be
and you
interesting.
give it to Kirk Cousins. Yeah. Yeah.
I still don't know what to think about Kirk Cousins. It's like, you know, one thing I will give him credit for. He reminds me of an Eli Manning in regards to his toughness. He's not big, but he hasn't been hurt since he's been with us.
Yeah.
And geez, was he even hurt on Washington? I don't think he was.
I don't think so.
So I'll give him that. But it's just like it's not. It's just he's not mediocre. He's
a Toyota Corolla.
He's a reliable automobile. He's a K car. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a Toyota Corolla. He's not a German luxury car. He's not a sports car. He's sensible. You know, he makes sense, gets good, decent gas mileage. Not going to have a lot of repair bills. Yeah. Get you from point A to point B.
Old Corolla.
Yep. Yeah.
We seem to do a lot of car references on this.
It's got to be his new say, Corolla Kirk.
Corolla Kirk.
So we also have a section we do, Seeing Stars. Seeing Stars is something that is plausible, but may not be probable. It's basically a bold prediction, but bolder than bold, really, because a bold prediction, whatever. But we like to go all out to the stars on this one. So, Jonathan, why don't you start us out with your Seeing Stars prediction for this game?
Okay. So my prediction is the Cowboys are going to run a trick play where they pitch it to CeeDee Lamb. He rolls out and he does sort of like the Philly special pass back to Dak for a touchdown. But then he's going to turn and he's going to scream right at the Vikings bench. You like that? You like that? That's my prediction. CeeDee Lamb pass for a touchdown to Dak. You like that?
And we're going to call it the You Like That special.
The You Like That special, yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna bite him.
It's going to be the
You
name
like
of this
that?
podcast is You Like That.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be very simple, extremely simple.
This isn't a simple podcast. I mean, Jonathan called a heart attack one time. I'm still calling it a heart attack, a medical emergency.
This is the plausible but not feasible. We shut out the Cowboys.
Ooh.
There we go.
Wow.
Do you want to explain how that one happens?
The Cowboys don't score any points. I mean, he said it was simple.
Very simple. I mean, has there been any shutouts this year? Let's go there.
Yes, there was.
Yes.
There was New
The
England
Patriots got shut out.
No, they shut out.
The Patriots shut out Detroit.
Yep.
Okay. Not shocking. Though it's funny because Detroit will like pull a win out. I mean, we all know that we expect them to be bad every year, and then they'll beat a team like, whoa, that's kind of cool.
Well, at one point they had 400 points in their favor and 401 points against them. So, yeah.
Said I used to talk football with a guy at Howman where I will still work up in Jersey, and he told me a story. I guess I don't know, maybe it was in the '60s or something. They asked the Detroit Lions coach, "So, what do you think about your team's execution?" And he's like, "I'm all for it."
I don't think they can say that anymore. So, for me, we lost your. All right. So for me, basically comes down to I'm going special teams on this one. We are going to have I wanted to call for an onside kick, but we don't do that stuff. So I'm calling for we're going to do a kickoff, and it is going to be received by Minnesota, started to be run back. It's going to be a good run back that gets fumbled. Cowboys are going to pick it up and run it into the end zone.
Nice. Well, I also would like to see Mike McCarthy get in a fist fight. That'd be funny.
Oh, that would be funny.
He's a big dude, man.
With who? With who?
So, just real quick, are you guys unhappy or happy with your head coach thus far? Okay.
We're out.
That's what
Way
I thought.
out.
We're done.
Way out.
Yep. We're ready to move on.
We're out like he would be if he was playing dodgeball.
Yes.
Rumors about Sean Payton going there.
Yeah, well, they're only rumors right now. We're hoping.
It would be nice. It
Yeah.
would be nice.
Yes. I like the way he thinks.
Yeah.
Have I missed anything, Jonathan?
No, sir. And I got to run anyway, so this is
That's
perfect timing.
Mitch, I
Great.
want to thank you very much.
Great to see you again, Mitch.
Coming onto the show. You guys have a great day. If you liked what we saw, like us, subscribe. If you've got, we're going to have something coming up here soon for scores. But in the meantime, in the comments, put down what you guys think the actual score will be at the end of the game to this weekend. That's it. Thank you very much.
That?
Exactly. All right, guys, take care. Thank you very much. Enjoy.
See you guys. Thanks.
Good
Take
seeing
care.
you. Yep. Bye-bye.